What's going on, guys? Welcome to a beautiful Saturday afternoon here out in the country in the middle of flippin' nowhere, Tennessee. Yeah, welcome to the acreage. I only got a few more weeks of this. It'll still be in some videos, but moving on to a different place, a different studio, somewhere a little bit different. But we'll get back into that at another time. Today I got a great episode for you. It's a beautiful day. We're gonna be doing a top 10 list of my favorite and best niche fragrances that I'll be wearing this spring that I think you should get your nose on. So stay tuned if you want to know what those fragrances are. Cue that intro. Welcome back, fragrance family, to My Two Cents, the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance and how to become a lasting scent memory. My name is Brian, and I'm your host. And today we're going to be going over my top 10 best niche fragrances for spring 2021. Oh man, it's beautiful out here today. If you guys can hear the birds chirping and see them flying around, oh, it's gorgeous. So I decided to get outside and bring you guys with me, because I got some beautiful fragrances to go over with you. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the whiffs and sniffs. Real quick, guys, thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me, and I love the fragrance community. To be completely honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of friends who are into fragrance, and I've been watching fragrance reviews for a long time, and I've realize there's such a huge community. So thank you for making me a part of your community, and thank you for becoming a part of my community. It means so much to me. If you love fragrance related content and you're new to this channel, then you're in the right spot, because we'll be doing reviews, we'll be doing new releases, we'll be doing some history, and we'll just be talking about all things fragrance. So if that interests you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, throw me up one of these, leave me some comments down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting new content. Go ahead. I'm patient. Take your time. All right, did you do it? Awesome. Let's get back into it. All right, so here we go. Number 10 is going to be from the house of Tiziana Terrenzi, and it's Kirke. Now, there is some skepticism, and a lot of people have been saying that this smells a whole lot like Xerjoff's Herba Pura, which I agree, it does. But once it goes through the mid notes and goes into the dry down, it kind of goes a little bit of a different direction. And this is going to be probably about $100 cheaper. I'll leave down in the description where you can find some of these and what discounters I use, so check them out. But back to the fragrance. Some of the key notes in this are going to be passion fruit, pear, lily of the valley, vanilla, and musk. I get some woody notes that come in on the dry down. But this is just a beautiful fragrance. Some say it's a little too feminine. And I say, then you just don't have enough confidence to wear it. And you should, because fragrance, whether it's unisex or leans a little feminine, it's all on the eye and the nose of the beholder. So if you love it, wear it, rock it. I love wearing this fragrance. I love it. It's fruity, it's floral, it's musky, it's sweet, not super sweet, and then woody. It's incredible. And for the price that you can get it at, I highly recommend it. Tiziana Terrenzi, they just make really, really good fragrances. A lot of people will say that they do a lot of inspired buys, but I believe that they take some inspiration from other fragrances and then go their own direction with it. That's just my opinion. So check out Kirke. Number 9 is a fragrance from the house of Kilian, and that is going to be Roses on Ice. I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the best boozy spring summer fragrances you can put on. The brass tacks about it is this smells exactly like the #1 selling gin in the US, and that is gonna be Hendrick's Gin. They got it spot on. You take out that burst of alcohol from that's gonna be coming from the actual gin, you get everything else great about it. Rose, cucumber, bit of a juniper berry to it. It's got aldehydes in it to make it feel cold and smell cold. It's incredible. I know this was inspired by, I believe it was Kilian's wife, who loves Hendrick's gin. Yeah, does it lean a little feminine? Sure. Is it unisex? 100%. Can you wear it as a man? Absolutely. In fact, I'm gonna be rocking the crap out of this because I haven't even worn this yet. Well, okay, I lied. I've worn this twice so far before this video. This is just, it's stellar. I get great performance out of it. I get 8 hours. It's not a huge projector, but for those who get close to you, they will smell you and be like, damn, you smell good. You smell like a gin and tonic. You make me want to go to happy hour. Let's go to happy hour. This is it right here. Roses on ice. Stellar. That's all I got to say about it. Number 8, coming from the house of Parfums de Marly, and that's going to be Galloway. Everybody's talking about Sedley and Percival. I don't actually own Percival. Why? I don't know. I'll probably pick it up. I need to do it before summer because I've heard that it's not that great in the summertime because it's a little thick for the summer. It can become a little cloying and you can become a little anosmic to it. But Galloway, on the other hand, is my go-to. Citrus, pepper, iris. It's not your iris like your Prada L'Homme's gonna be, or your Dior Homme. The iris in here, it gives it such a soapy cleanliness to it. It's not a fresh out of the shower kind of scent. It's not a shower gel, but it's along those lines. The citrus in this is beautiful. This is a good, I get about 7 to 8 hours out of it on my skin. Could be different for you, but this is just a very luxurious, it kind of smells like a luxurious bubble bath. If that, I can't believe I compared it to a bubble bath, but yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Just that, like you're bathing in luxury. So check out Galloway. I think you'll enjoy it if you want to smell like a luxurious bubble bath. Next up is going to come from an Italian house at number 7, and that's going to be Acqua di Parma, Colonia. Yeah, a lot of people talk about this fragrance. It's a straight up fougere barbershop, but I'll tell you what they know how to do the best at Acqua di Parma, and that is bright, citrus, clean, fresh fragrances. This isn't eau de cologne. This ain't gonna last you. This ain't beast mode or anything like that. I get about 4 to 5 hours out of it. But the great thing about it is Acqua di Parma isn't super expensive, especially for a niche. But for eau de colognes, the one thing I do appreciate about them, and colognes, they're so bright right off the top. They just smell so aromatic and just kind of pop off your skin. And this is just like that. Some of the notes are citrus, sandalwood, musk, and lavender. Yeah. You can always, one-up yourself and go with the Essentia, which is pretty much like this, but a little bit more intense. And you can get any of their blue line. You're not gonna go wrong. So check out Acqua di Parma. At number 6, we're gonna go with the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And this is gonna be Masculin Pluriel. This again also is an aromatic woody fougere. Some of the notes are gonna be lavender, patchouli, cedar, and leather. This is as if you were going to walk into a barbershop in France and there is a tannery where they tan leathers right next door for the barbershop. So, that where they take their straight razor, those, I can't remember what they're called, where they sharpen their straight razor on that big strap of leather. That's what this reminds me of, but done so well, so intricately, so masterfully, so artfully. They just have, Francis Kurkdjian is incredible at just making some of the best French perfumes I've ever tried. Masculine, 100%. It's in the name. It's pure. you're gonna smell clean and fresh and sophisticated and elegant. So if you have the cheddar, check out MFK, Masculin Pluriel. So some may say this is a designer house. In my eyes, it's not. It is a high-end designer, and very high-end designer house. And it's always gonna throw a curveball at you guys of what fragrance it is, but this is coming from the house of Tom Ford. That's Vert de Fleur. Yeah, some people are, okay, a lot of people aren't gonna like this one. I love it. I think it smells exactly like the outdoors. I think it smells like spring. Florals, woods, and vetiver. More florals and vetiver than anything. This is one of the greenest. This smells like a greenhouse. Like you walk into a greenhouse or walking through a field of just all the flowers you can possibly imagine. I have gotten a lot of compliments from this, but I've also gotten a lot of backhanded compliments from this. It is very unique. It's very artsy. Tom put a lot of work, I can tell, into this one. It is not for the faint of heart. It is definitely not for those who want to smell young, because this is a more aged gentleman. I guess that's the best way I can put it. I think it's amazing. This just reminds, if I want to smell like spring, I wear a Vert de Fleur. So yeah, and for Tom Ford fragrance, you can get this pretty cheap, $115 to $135. Yeah, we'll get you this 50 ml Vert de Fleur. I was in Knoxville and some time ago, and I was walking around a department store, and I wanted to get the new Tom Ford Beau de Jour. I wanted to see how it held up against the original Beau de Jour, and so I picked it up. Well, I kept walking around the department store, and I ended up in the women's cosmetic section, and they had a whole Joe Malone boutique. So I picked up, amongst others, Joe Malone Oud and Bergamot. I've always been looking for an oud fragrance that I could wear in spring and summer, and this is it. This is incredible. It is expensive. I wanted to get the 50 ml, and all they had was 100 ml. I paid full retail for this, so $185. I think it is one of the best oud fragrances for spring and summer, if not the best. You could wear it all year round, but this is such a fresh, uplifting oud fragrance. I don't really know how else to explain it. You're gonna have bergamot, orange, oud, and cedar are some of the notes. It is an eau de cologne concentration, so it's not a very high concentration, but it is an eau de cologne intense. I get about 6 hours out of it, but it's not a huge projector, but I decant some of this, put in a travel atomizer, and take it with me because I love the way this smells. I've had women follow me to ask me what I was wearing. It is a captivating fragrance, and it is unisex, so men and women could wear it, just like most Joe Malones are. So if you can find a discounted Oud and Bergamot, pick it up. If not, again, it's gonna run you pretty steep, but I highly suggest it. And of course, get decants and samples of any of these before you decide to just go out there and be like me and blind buy it. Woo! Don't be like me. Number 3, we're getting into the last 3. What's gonna be next? What's behind door number 3? Well, behind door number 3 is gonna be a fragrance that I haven't heard a whole lot of talk about. The last person I heard talk about this was George over at the Fragrance Apprentice. And the fragrance I'm talking about is Nasomatto Absinthe, another boozy fragrance for the spring and summertime. This reminds me so much of actually sitting in Europe in a bright countryside, sitting at a little pub and drinking some absinthe. it's a soothing fragrance. And to me, it's one of those fragrances that I get great longevity out of. I get 10 plus hours out of this. And for the few times that I've worn it, I've put on just 2 sprays, one on the front, one on the back, and that's all day. And I smell myself for quite a while, and other people can smell me as well. It's not beast mode performance, but you know, you get a good 2 foot, 3 foot radius. Some of the notes are going to be wormwood, green notes, and vetiver. I'm going to go ahead and just spray a little bit in there. It's an Acqua di Parma. I mean, I think this is incredible. It is pricey. I got mine at Discounters. I believe I got this at Fragrance Net for $115. Retailing it's $185. I'm trying to collect the whole line. I got Beararondo, or Beararonda, however you say it. I think it's Beararondo, on its way. This is a great green fragrance. I mean, even the juice, it is, well, it's kind of a pea/green, but this is just will set you apart from everyone else because not a lot of people are wearing it, or a lot of people have heard of Black Afghano or Pardon or Duro, all great fragrances, but Absinthe just never gets talked about. So kind of semi-boozy green vetiver. It's incredible. Number 2. So behind door number 2, we have my favorite at the moment niche house on the market. Comes from Turkey, Istanbul actually, and that is Nishane. And the fragrance is Sultan Vetiver. This is new to my collection. I will put a warning out there. If you don't like vetiver, or you are getting into vetiver, don't buy this fragrance. Most of the note breakdown is vetiver. All sorts of different kinds of vetiver. Bourbon vetiver, Java vetiver, vetiver, and more vetiver. It is herbaceous and green and woody and semi-sweet. It's freaking fantastic. This is a sophisticated gentleman in a bottle. This is just one of the best vetiver fragrances I have in my collection. I hold this above Grey Vetiver, Guerlain Vetiver, though those are great fragrances. This is my new vetiver. This is my new vetiver fragrance. This is incredible. But if you don't like vetiver, don't bother. Or just please, everybody, even if you do like vetiver, get yourself a sample of this. It's so good. It's got also a booziness to it. It's got that absinthe accord. And that's going to be coming from, I do believe, star anise or wormwood. So complex and so amazingly done. They are doing something right at Nishane. And I look forward to collecting every single one of their fragrances. And that's one of my goals for this year into next, is to collect the entire line. I've got 9, I believe, and I love every single one. So do yourself a favor and check out Nishane Sultan Vetiver. Get yourself a sample. And now, for my grand finale. To open up the last door. What do you think is gonna be my number 1 choice for spring 2021 in the niche category? Well, it's coming from another one of my favorite houses, Xerjoff 40 knots. As you heard on the other day, my scent of the day was 40 knots. While I was mowing my 14 acres, as you can see behind me, some of it. And man, I forgot how much I love this fragrance. It's like every year I put it back on, I fall in love again. This is gonna be a salty sea breeze with green notes and woods. It's the number 1 aquatic I have in my collection. I've got tons. Do I like the other aquatics like Acqua di Profundo, Profumo, you know, to name a few? It's one of my favorite aquatics of all time. Why? Performance and longevity. This thing lasts 10, 12 hours, if not longer. If you get this on your clothes, you're going to be smelling yourself for a while. A lot of people say that it reminds them in the dry down of Roja Parfums Creation E. Yeah, it does. Not 100%. It kind of goes a different direction, but yeah, it's that good. So Roja Creation E is spectacular. 40 knots, spectacular. This is a luxurious aquatic. Do yourself a favor and get your nose on Xerjoff's 40 knots. Incredible. Longest lasting aquatic I've ever put on. So there it is, guys. That is my top 10 niche fragrances for the spring of 2021. What I'll be wearing, what I think you should get your nose on, and get yourself some samples of. So if you've enjoyed any of the fragrances, or you own any of the fragrances and agree or disagree with any of the fragrances that I have in this list, do me a favor, comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. And speaking of which, I do have a special shout out to one of my subscribers who has decided to go ahead and ask for me to do a special show for him. And I'm going to. And I just want to let you know, I've got a vintage bottle of Fahrenheit on its way to me right now. I'm picking up as much of the Fahrenheit line as I can find, so I can do that special episode just for you, buddy. Yeah, because I care. And I really do care about you guys, because we are definitely a family. We are a very niche family. We're eccentric. We're crafty. We're artistic. Because we enjoy making memories. And so, again, if this is your first time to this show, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Throw me up one of these. Hit that notification bell so you know I'm posting new content. And until next time, happy scent trails.